This Buff, aka Feed the People, and you watching Nolazine. It's lunchtime.
This episode is brought to you by the Loyalty Club, one of the hottest brands out, where they keep their items limited and only for the loyal few. Check us out online at theloyaltyclub.us, or if you're in the New Orleans area, you can check us out at our flagship store, 841 Fulton Street. You already know what time it is. Only for the loyal few, club time.
He said it's lunchtime. Last time we was on that positive kumbaya thing. I told him, I ain't asking all them nice questions. We going for the gusto today. He been telling me the whole time he got his, he got bars too. So we ain't about to even play with it, man. Okay. We just gonna go straight out with it, man. I want you to spit something, man.
First thing straight. I ain't a descendant of the ape. I just was held in the same state, captive behind the gate while I watched the rape. But I stood constant in my prostrate. That's how I got back my mind state, but I refused to lose it. So the pen, I abused it while being elusive. Nigga, I was in a down with Lucifer, but I dodged him. Almost made it logical and baptized him. Traumatized by the times and the signs of these bombs in my rhymes, because they'll explode on you like your boy from Oklahoma. But the effect not tragic. To my people, it's black magic. Anything you tend to lag and grab it. Once to decipher my speech, I'll be a security breach. Hope everybody will hear me I reach, because it's real. And they might want to put me next door to the solid dad brother Emmett Till, because image kills. They even try to limit still. Ain't they crazy? Them cocksuckers will never cease to amaze me. And the angel of death got a new lady. Her name Mother Nature. So you'll never know what fate awaits you. Don't let that intimidate you. Fear God. All other cowardice, you discard. And guess what, boy? I ain't begin to come hard. When I do, you going to think I'm speaking in Zulu or practicing voodoo. But that's just the half of it.
All right. Hey, but you ain't come to play today, huh?
Nah, bro. God said feed the people, so it's lunchtime, bro.
It's lunchtime.
It's definitely.
He said it's lunchtime, y'all. So, I heard him say something early. I got to mess with him early,
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he said, they asked him about his Saints jersey and why he should get the number 9 on it. He said he got to represent the exact place he from in the 9.
Yeah, I'm out the Florida Project. You know what I'm saying? I love the 9. I'm just sick of niggas lying saying they from the 9. So I say Florida Project can represent mine.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
So with that being said, for people don't know, but you did over 20 years in jail.
Definitely. I did 27 and a half years in prison.
And so you ran across a lot of people.
Yes.
A lot of people that rep stuff probably came up there lying about where they from and everything.
Yes, most for sure.
So I'm asking you this question. Why you think in New Orleans, people got to always say exactly where they from first, before the ward, before the city? In Louisiana, always the last place, if they say it at all.
Well, I think it's just like a territorial thing, bro, where you grow up at. Where, you grow up in a certain part of the city. You're going to let everybody know, look, this the part of the city I'm from. I don't want you to get it twisted like I'm from somewhere else or something like that, like I'm from right here. And people might say, well, that's the third ward. Yeah, it is the third ward. But I'm off 6 and Baron. This is where I'm from. I'm off Phillip and Clara. You know what I'm saying? People kind of like be specific about that because they don't want you to get it twisted. They like, look, talk about where I'm from for real.
Right. It's like even the people from, at the Magnolia Project, they'll say, I'm from the Magnolia, but I'm from off this courtway, or I'm off these 2 streets. It's like, you got to let a person know exactly. Like, I noticed we the only people do that down here.
Right. I know in a Florida project, you got the white side and the black side. So when we talking to somebody out the project, I be like, I'm off the black side.
Right.
It's
even like the Fisher Project. They got dark side, light side.
Right.
Everybody, like every project got, like even the projects were segregated. It's like... It's like It's like in New Orleans, we just separate everything, and I think some people take like offense to it. Like most people who grew up on the West Bank, they be like, man, the people over there be like trying to like X us out, but they X each other out everywhere.
Right.
It ain't no. I don't think it's a problem. It's just that's just how I think everybody was raised there.
Yeah, it's like, but it's different. Like it's kind of different when you get to prison. Like if you like in Angola, for instance. It's more like I'm from New Orleans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And, it kind of, you might break it down and see the guys from New Orleans. If you from the 7 Ward, you might hang with the dude from the 7 Ward, but you might hang with the dude from the city.
But even in prison, but the West Bank and New Orleans is hanging together.
Right. Everything be New Orleans then.
Right. It's like, I don't care what he say, man. Hey, but dude from Marrero, he from New Orleans right now.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, but when it's
Right.
time to go against Baton Rouge, Lafayette, he from New Orleans.
Right. But, you know, it's kind of like, it changed when we was in prison because we was cool. Not me specifically. I was cool with dudes from all over, bro. I got around from Shreveport. I got around from Baton Rouge. I got around from Lafayette, everywhere.
I mean, I think you get cool, but I'm just saying if everybody, like, if it had to come down to the come down,
Really,
from New Orleans.
but really more like if you say like a person like me, I'm cool with everybody. So that prevents for it to come down because I'm able to go talk to the guys, be like, hold up, brother. You know, nah, we don't need to be doing this or we don't need to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? But if I ain't around or certain people ain't around, then it might do go down like that. But, you know, basically, though, it was never like that when we was in Angola. You know, we ain't never had no, like, fights with the 15th war or whatever like that. It ain't happen like that.
And the crazy part is, you saying that, like, I think that's actually, I'm like, needed again. And, like, I'm one of them people, if people ever saw me, like, outside, I stopped a lot of stuff outside that,
Right.
you know, I won't never see on camera, but they know I did.
Right.
But it's like, you know how you just say how you stop, like, you can, I'm like, de-escalate a lot of things.
Right.
But, like, back in the day, people used to do that. Now people, like, they don't have nobody who no one listen to, for real, like, in the streets. It's like, you know, back in the day, somebody could come and be like, hey, y'all, you know, hey, but let me get y'all together right quick. Y'all really ain't, like, it ain't that serious yet.
Right.
But, like, people don't, like, it's nobody now, like, man, that ain't my business. Everybody, like, it ain't my business. Like, everybody, like, ain't nobody trying to step up for nobody.
Right. But it is their business, though. That's why God said feed the people. You know, I was sent to heal the nation. You know what I'm saying? For real, you know, I like being able to talk to all kind of different people about all kind of different things. And at the same time, I listen to those people, too, and what they saying or whatever they going through or whatever like that. Because it didn't make no sense for us to destroy each other, continue to destroy each other, bro. We destroyed each other and got to the places where we was at. So, you know, who going to step up? And I'm a person that's not going to talk about stepping up. I'm going to do the stepping up. I always tell a dude, look, don't complain about nothing that you ain't going to do nothing about. If I complain about it, if I see it as a problem, then I'm going to do something about it. You know, I'm going to try my best to try to divert any kind of crazy situation, man.
Gotcha. So, you know, but last time, you know, we was here, we talk about your story and everything. But this time, you know, you get to talk about the music business. You know, you came, you know, but you doing, you know, but the record label thing and everything like that.
Right.
You know, if you spitting bars yourself now. So kind of telling people, what's going on with you?
I've been spitting bars, bro. I've been spitting bars like forever in prison. You know, I came home, but that wasn't really my focus. It's really not my focus. Now I do it because I could do it. And they have like a lot of guys that was locked up with me. They be in my DM, be in my inbox, calling me like, why you ain't dropping that yet? Why you ain't rap? Why you ain't do nothing like this? But, you know, I was focused on other things. But, my focus when I came home was like to help the brothers that's inside the prison. That's kind of like what my focus, man. Like, try to help the brothers get out. Try to help the brothers get out, you know, as much as I can. You know, do everything that I can. And, you know, I'm still doing that. But at the same time, my boy Bosco, he saw me. I came home. He realized I was home. He got his little, you know, thing going on with the Feather Money Music. So, you know, he telling me about it, telling me about the movies and all this. I'm listening to him. It's all good. You know, we've been knowing each other for a long time. And then one day he called me. He was like, look, bro, you want to be co-CEO of Forever Money Music? I'm like, word. Let's roll. You know what I'm saying? Then he introduced me to BDK, Book the Creature. And I'm like, man, definitely, you know, homie gifted in real life. You know, I know a lot about rap. I listen to rap forever. And I know a lot about rap. I know people who got skills for real and people that just know how to rap for real. You know, and I can't knock none of them. If you just rapping and do what you do, you do what you do. But I understand certain people that's gifted. And when I heard BDK, I'm like, man, this guy gifted for real. So we can work together. We can do whatever. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, still pushing my Feed the People brand, you know, because God said feed the people first. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I got to do that.
But you can feed people, actually, I'm like, through music as well.
Right. Definitely. That, you know, when I say feed the people, it's not in a box. It's like whatever. It's like whatever you have. If you have a gift that you can give somebody to better their situation, man, give it to them, man. If you can just feed somebody literally food, give it to them. Education, give it to them. When I say feed the people, I ain't talking about no limit. And God didn't just tell me to feed the people. He was like, people, y'all feed each other. So that's why I'm always trying to encourage people to look, go for it. Go for whatever it is. It don't matter.
Facts. Gotcha. So, with that being said, they be like, what's the plan? I'm like, with the label.
Oh, man, right now, BDK, the focus. We just trying to push BDK, trying to, let everybody hear him for real. Every time I post him or drop a reel with him on there, we get like, man, so many comments like, man, dude, the real deal, he really get down for real. So my advice to him always, man, work. Let's stay in their face. Stay dropping, because I want to stay putting them on. I want to stay, I want the people to really like know him. I want him to be a household name in the city. You know what I'm saying? And another thing that we talk about with him, that, man, they got all kind of people that's gifted, that's talented. They don't mean nothing. They got all kind of other things that come with this thing right here. So to kind of like get in fully in your craft to be able to do all kind of things,
Gotcha. So, feeding the people, having a record label and everything like that. So, like, but since the last time we talked, how do you think that like New Orleans music scene has actually grown?
Man, it's big. New Orleans music scene is big, man. I love all kind of, rappers from New Orleans, man. I listen to them all the time. Like, when I'm riding around in my car, man, I might have anybody playing, like Exotic Fat Boy, Lil Iceberg, BMG, Snoop, YD the Illest. I listen to Bosco, of course, BDK. I listen to all kind of different people, bro. I ain't lying, bro. I love the way New Orleans rap scene is going, man.
Right. And BMG Snoop, man, you need to start dropping videos, man. I don't know what you're doing out there, bro. I'm calling you out.
He coming, though. He coming. I had a long talk with him today. He coming. Yeah, he coming, bro. He coming to do his thing.
Gotcha. So, before, with your record label, it be like, I'm like, separate you? Well, what's gonna separate y'all from everybody else out there?
Because the uniqueness and style. You know what I'm saying? Because BDK is BDK. He ain't nobody else. Whatever working for other people, man, I take my hat off to them. They do their thing. But I always tell him, man, look, I'll do what you did last time. He got a song, Tech 9, that's in rotation right now. He's doing his thing on Tech 9. But every time I see him, I'll be like, look, I want you to outdo Tech 9. I want you to outdo this year. And a way to do that is to kind of like listen to all kind of different music. Listen to all kind of different genres. Just put yourself in all kind of different shoes and be able to perform on any stage at any time.
Yeah. It's called like growing as an artist.
Right.
And, like a lot of artists down here don't want to actually, ever go to their roots sometimes. They don't want to drop a bounce song, but they don't want to make a song for the ladies. They just make one style song. Like, people are not going to listen to the same thing over and over again. You can't talk about Glocks and switches and your ops. You got to talk about, man, like busting up a female sometimes. Sometimes you got to talk about blowing a bag in a strip club. You gotta make people feel like they live in this, like, if they're going through this, like, with you. Right.
You got to connect with the people at all time, man. You got to kind of like bring them to where you at, and at the same time, you got to be able to go where they at. Whatever. If they're in a strip club, that's where you need to be at. If you need to make a bounce song, that's where you need to be at. Or have a bounce beat, or have something as it relates to bounce. I love bounce music, man. I love all New Orleans music, me. Right. So, all the artists that's kind of like doing anything on that side, man, it's all good. Whatever. We kind of like, we ready to do any kind of music, us.
All right. Speaking on bounce, and you kind of went to jail, but when bounce was like first coming on the scene.
Right.
So, like, did you see bounce becoming this big?
No, bro. I knew one thing, though, for sure, that New Orleans was kind of like different. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't knew that everybody else was going to gravitate to bounce like they have. So when I was in prison and I'm hearing these different songs, I'm like, hold up, that's a bounce song. And I'm seeing these people doing these dances. I'm like, no, that's different. I thought they do the bounce music. What's going on? They kind of like trying to steal our style. But knowing how we coming to New Orleans, I know that the other people, they ain't really doing it right. So I'm like, yeah, they somebody trying to do their little bounce thing, but they ain't really doing it like somebody from New Orleans would do it. Yeah, bro. But man, that thing then blew all the way up. Everybody trying to emulate that thing to some kind of level.
All right. Gotcha. So, some people did take our stuff.
Right.
Some people did take from New Orleans. A lot of people took from New Orleans. And like, we always talk about New Orleans don't have no gatekeepers, but we do. It just don't always. Our gatekeepers don't sometimes. I'm like speak up. When it's time to speak up, bro.
Right.
But we have powerful enough people to reach out to like certain places if we need to.
Right.
But like I think New Orleans is growing in many ways with fashion, rap, media, different things like that. Like just look at GD. Like GD is actually showing and he's actually meeting a lot of celebrities.
Right.
Like I did all that before I actually got into the media. So and so most people would see me around so many celebrities, but I was doing concerts and all that before this stuff.
Okay.
But like now you'll see him like interacting and want showing his face. But me, I don't even want to show my face. It's like I got older. So it's like I actually like when I see multiple media companies growing and different things like that. Because like we live in a city that, some people see somebody growing and might start hating on the person.
Right. Yeah.
And like I don't care about nobody's success. I know where I'm going. Like when you like when you know where you're going, you ain't really tripping on nobody. Like I see like all the podcasts. I give them all salutes and shout out. But like I tell them like, but we ain't like we not in competition, but it don't make sense for us to be trying to be on each other's platforms and all that stuff. Like you need to grow on your own. Right. Because I'm going where I'm going regardless.
Right. Jeter, shouts out to Jeter, man. That's my boy, you know what I'm saying? I love what he's doing. Like you said, I love what a lot of these media platforms are doing, man. I try to watch as many of them as I could, try to, give them their props, the comics, Mario and Cora with the K, Rob Kazi, all those brothers, man. I love that people from New Orleans are stepping out in those ways of doing their thing, man. It's all good, bro. And as it relates to hating on each other, man, that's the crazy thing right there.
Well, the thing is with the comedians and like GD, what I like is we are starting to reach the world. Right. Like I always told people, like I didn't create my brand just to only be in New Orleans. I might named it similar for New Orleans, but I didn't create a brand only for New Orleans. Like if I do that, I can't help y'all. New Orleans not that big. Right. Like Louisiana and whole has only 1 million people. Right. Houston has 2 to 3 million people live there. Right. We supposed to be reading them, like we supposed to reach the masses. You think if Master P and Birdman would have only been focused on New Orleans, but they'll be the big superstars they are today?
Right. You gotta dream big. You always gotta dream big, you always gotta think big, bro. I think like when a person what limits a person is when they don't know who they are. I think when a person like comes into themselves, like you said that, I already know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. I know why I'm doing this. See, when you lock into that zone right there, bro, man, ain't nothing else can stop you, bro. Man, I'm telling you, I was a young kid inside of prison, and I kind of like realized, man, I kind of found myself. Like I was like about 23 or 24 or something like that, and I found myself. Once I found myself, I knew one thing, boy, I ain't got to do nothing to impress nobody. You know what I'm saying? I already know where I'm going. Where I'm going is out these gates. That walk to freedom was long, boy, but I kept walking till I walked it home. For real. And that's real talk, you know what I'm saying? So like when a person locks into their zone, it's like you kind of know what's up with yourself, and then you kind of like work from that perspective right there. It's like a runner. If you know anybody that run a jog or anything, they got like a runner zone. They got a little pace. Once you find that pace, it's like you locked in for real. So that's like with anything, you know what I'm saying? If a person really find themselves and find out where they going at, and they know where they going at, they gone. Facts. For real.
Gotcha. So, checking out the music industry, being home for like a few years now. Hey, but what do you enjoy most about it, and like what do you hate about it?
Man, what I love most about it is how everybody just going for this. How they just really like getting, doing their 1-2 thing. What I don't like about it is that when people be complaining about who ain't doing this or who ain't doing that, man, look, do what you got to do. If you do what you got to do, how you gonna do it? People gonna notice you. People gonna start rocking with you. People gonna start listening to you. So I'm always encouraging the brothers, man, look, do what you got to do, man. Don't worry about who ain't doing what. Of course, if the people that's in position reach back and do, of course, you probably would be. But, man, don't worry about that. Try to get the position that they're in.
Right. And the crazy part is even the people in position be hoping that people that's higher than them it do something for them too.
Right.
Because it's like you just gotta just go in your mind and like, man, I'm about to do this myself. If somebody help,
Right.
maybe that's a bonus. But if not,
Right.
you know, you gotta do what you gotta do anyway. If a
Right.
person help you or not, you still gotta do what you gotta do.
Right. You know, like when God said feed the people, it was just that. So I'm going with that. I'm going with that on all kind of levels that I know how. Of course, I'm constantly asking myself, man, what do they mean by feed the people? What do you mean by feed the people? Just do it. Just keep doing it, bro. Just do what you need to do. Do what you got to do. Help the people. You know, if you don't like the position that they in, man, try to help them. Help them. Encourage other people to help them. You know, so that's what I do.
Gotcha. So, you know, saying feed the people, do you ever feel like, you know, sometimes you get some, you know, some crazy comments under your page, like negative people, like, man, he ain't really helping people and all that.
Say, bro, the one thing for sure about me, though, my track record kind of speaks for itself. You know, they got people right now, bro, I be in the streets, and I might see a guy, he might be with his whole family, he'll stop me and be like, man, look, this the guy that helped me get out of prison. You know, man, you know, we actually changed lives, save lives. Right. You know what I'm talking about? Touch multi-generations. So I don't really worry about the naysayers. Of course, they got people right now in prison or probably out here feel like he ain't helping this person here, or he ain't doing this, or he ain't doing that. But I'm like, yeah, all right. God said feed the people, so I'm going to keep on doing what I do. Like I said, but once I found out who I was, man, I don't care about what people say. That's on them. That's their opinion. They ain't got nothing to do with me.
Right. And people just, you know, just you coming home with a plan, like being in Angola, I don't think people, like, if anybody ever been to Angola, like, I ain't even talking about just being in jail there. I'm talking about just going there. That's the closest thing to, like, a slave plantation. It's like, for to have a mindset like you do, like, that's already a great thing coming out there with a plan. Like, because, like, a lot of people don't know. So many people come home from jail do not have a plan. Like, it's so easy to come home from jail and crash right back out.
Right.
Like, people don't realize how easy it is. Like, man, I'm going to go back home. Them people already got a bed for me.
Right. Let's say, bro, I'm glad you brought that up. Because one of the biggest things that a guy who's coming home from prison got to know about is reentry. Man, everybody who I talk to now in prison, I'm talking about everybody, all the dudes that just come home, I tell them how real reentry is. And what I mean by that is that, man, you've been gone like 20 years. The whole world done changed. So you got to know how the world works now. And it don't mean me catching up with the next person. No, it's me catching up with the world. I need to know what's going on with the times in this world. When I went to prison, they didn't have self-checkout. Now they got self-checkout. I stood in the self-checkout line for about 30 minutes not knowing what to do. When I first come home, I'm like, what you do? How you do it? And the people at the register, the people in Walmart looking at me like, I'm like, look, I've been gone a long time. Oh, all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the simplest thing is using the phone, especially if you got an iPhone. You know, the buses run different now. Everything is different now. When we left, Canal Street was like a big old place. Now, Canal Street got all kind of people on there. They be doing all kind of things. You be like, man, what the
Canal is Trap Street.
It's different. It's different. They don't have a plaza no more.
Yeah.
You know, everything is different now. So, you know, coming home, bro, you know, and plus another thing, you in prison all this time, being told what to do. You got 3 meals for sure. You got power. You got light. You got all that stuff. When you come home, you got to pay some bills now. You can't just be like leaving the light on. You know what I'm saying? You living with your mama. She got a job. You eating all her food. You leaving all the lights on. You letting the water run. All that stuff costs money. In prison, that shit was free. But on the street, that stuff costs money. You know, it costs to breathe. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a difference, bro, making that transition from all that time in prison to on the street now, man. It's a transition, man. It's now still home down there 3 years, bro. There's still some things I got to get used to. I'm getting used to, bro.
Right. And I tell people transition probably is the hardest thing because a lot of people don't know if you did 10, 15 years behind bars, you probably ain't got no family no more when you come home. So you might end up going by your partner house, right?
Right.
If your partner's still on that same thing you've been on 15 years ago, it's so easy for you to jump back in there.
Right.
It takes a very strong person to be like, man, I ain't on that no more. But if your partner own it, he online, he getting your money and everything, you easily back into what you was doing already.
Right. It's easy, bro. It's so easy to get caught up, bro. Man, it's easy, bro. I'm seeing it. I done saw it since I've been home. Guys that came home, got caught up, bro. You need a whole bunch of things. You know what I'm saying? You need family support. You need peer support. You need all kind of things. We've been traumatized in real life. We don't even know, bro. That's not normal to do all that time in prison, bro. It's not normal to grow up like we grew up. So you can be traumatized. You don't even know that you need help. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's stigmatized. You need help, you're crazy. Right. No, I'm not crazy.
Hey, but that's why I want to shout out Arlene's Parish for actually opening the port. I'm like mental health.
Right.
Because so many people have PTSD down here.
Right.
Like I always tell people in these interviews, like, I know, every city got a lot going on, but it's very rare in a city where brothers, cousins killing each other.
Right.
Your neighbor. It's like we just so small here, and everybody know the victim and the killer.
Right.
And you just it's either you gonna do something or you gonna shut up.
Right.
It's like there is no place like this place to me.
Right.
And it's like I think growing up in New Orleans actually like prepared me for everywhere else. Like nowhere else scares me. Like every other city, I'm like, man, that shit cool. like in my mind. But the crazy part is I always tell tourists, they be like, man, New Orleans, y'all, we go down here. But I tell them the best secret that's true as fucking is fucked up.
Right.
But we only kill each other.
Right.
We don't like if you hear somebody from New Orleans kill a tourist, they probably was out of bounds. Right. You was on Bourbon doing some wild shit. You twerked on the wrong streets. Long as you come down here and do what you're supposed to do, nobody ain't worried about you.
Right.
But down here, I always tell dudes be like, man, but I'm like that. I'm a killer. Man, I tell it, nigga get mad at me. It's easy to kill your friend. Right. He don't expect you to do him.
Right.
It's easy to kill somebody who will sleep on side you.
Right.
Like, it's harder to go out there and hunt for a motherfucker.
Right.
But everybody, like I tell them, like, man, and like, you speak on feeding the people. It's like, but like, nobody old to be giving the youngest game. Like, man, that ain't the way to go. It ain't always won't. We killing our same race.
Right.
Over nothing. Like most of our beef over women, small change. It ain't nothing like if you break down the full beef. I ain't talking about when the friends got to doing all that. Talking about the beginning of the beef. It be something so minor.
Yeah. We easy to be versus each other, man. I noticed that coming up is like, yeah, it's so easy for me to be versus you. So I kind of like started thinking in a way like, you know what, I'm gonna try to make the hard thing easy. I'm not gonna respond in this kind of way right here to this right here. So that's kind of like what I be kind of telling a lot of dudes now, man. Look, let's try to make the hard thing easy. It's hard for you to not do him something. Let's try that. Or whatever like that, bro. Because we was taught that stuff coming up, bro. Years. It's like it's generational stuff, man. This stuff been going on. But who gonna put a stop to it? Who gonna try to put a stop to it? Or we gonna just be saying that that's just how it is. Right. That's how it is in the city.
Hey, but there's so many people threw their life away.
Right.
Off of some small minor shit that they wish I guess what they probably been in jail every day. Like, I wish I'd have went this way.
Say, bro. Man, look, that's one of the reasons why I say what I say. Because I don't never want to give nobody that chance to say, had I known. No, you know now. I'm about to tell you about the place I know about. I'm about to tell you about Angola. I'm about to tell you about all this stuff. So you can know. Don't talk about you ain't know. Because in prison, but they got a whole lot of brothers that say that, man, if I'd have known. Boy, look, see when you get that, like when I got there, I told my mom, I called home and told my mom, I said, Mom, remember you said I was going to be in a world of trouble? I said, I'm here now.
Hey, but a hard head, it make a soft ass.
Right. I was in a world of trouble. I'm like, man, what the hell going on here? Like you said, it's a whole plantation, a whole slave plantation. You picking cotton, you doing all. I'm like, man, what they doing? I felt like I was on roots.
Hey, but I talking to somebody probably from New York, and I was like, man, you saw that movie Life? They still got shit like that going on in Louisiana. Right. Exactly. That movie, they still got shit like that going on.
Right.
And guess what? Them people won't hesitate to kill you if you try to run.
Right.
They won't hesitate. And guess what? They on horses still.
And look, and they still supporting it with the Tim Tooth law, the Jim Crow laws. They still supporting it, man. They still supporting it. The legislature everywhere, they still supporting it. Like, yeah, I know it's wrong, but look, still. The system was set up to hold us back. You know what I'm saying? We got to understand that. So we got to know what we doing, man.
And the crazy part is, I tell people, man, but the year before I actually became one, I'm like convicted felon, I just listened to Soul Slim over and over again. And that one part always stuck to me. Hey, but then I became one felon. I'm like, dang, why I didn't listen to Soul Slim? I'm listening to him, but like, why I didn't listen to him like mentally? Like once you get into that system, it's a lot of things you got to change the way you move.
Right.
In life, like being a felon probably is the worst. Probably like the worst mistake ever happened to me. And I tell people that often, I'm like, everybody be so happy to talk about, man, you don't know my jacket. I tell people, man, I probably been in jail more than your favorite rapper.
Right.
But that ain't nothing me to be proud of.
Right.
I'm like, hey, but my biggest regret is becoming a felon because in my mind, I still think I got to think like a criminal. Like, I still can't carry a legal gun. So if somebody run in my house, now I got to think like a criminal.
Right.
It's just all kind of things you still got to like do. And I'm like, dang. And it's like the people hold you back. They don't like, there's nothing for you could come home and become like a non-convicted felon and get a legal gun again. So it's like, how you supposed to protect yourself out here in a city where the crime rate is high as hell?
Right. Yeah, man. Once you become a felon, though, bro, for as not voting, all kind of different things kind of come into play with that. And it's not nothing to brag about being a felon. I got this many convictions. But
I hear people, when the rappers, man, my
jacket.
jacket, you better check my jacket. I'm like, man, I don't even want no bad people know I have a jacket.
They don't know like I know.
Right.
That's why. You know what I'm saying? If you know like I know, man, you ain't going to be trying to do none of that or be trying to participate in none of that stuff no more. You know what I'm saying? But, some people, they just got to go through it to learn. And I hate that. I hate the fact that you actually got to go through it.
Sometimes you go through it, and that's going to be the last thing you go through.
Yeah.
In multiple ways.
Yeah, sometimes it's like that, I got my nephew them in the feds, bro. And believe me, I done told him like a million times, bro, look, don't do this or don't do that or watch how you do this or why. But, they had to go through it themselves, Brandon. It's sad to say. I hate that. I hate the fact that they not out here. I can't be with them right now. You know what I'm saying? But, I can't live their life for them. I got to live my life for me. You know what I'm saying? And try to guide the young ones in the right direction.
Facts. Gotcha. So, tell us, I'm like, what's next for you?
Oh, man. I think I'm about doing a Canal Street connection. Thinking about doing that. But right now, bro, we kind of like just focused on BDK. With the Feed the People, I got to let some T-shirts out. About to start my little T-shirt business. I put them out the other day. They've been going like crazy. People been buying them, supporting or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? And you need that. You need that support. You need the funds to be able to do more things to feed the people, to help more people. So, that's where I'm at with it right now.
Gotcha. And also, but last but not least, tell the world, I'm like, what can they find you on social media and I'm everywhere else?
Oh, man. You can find me on the Feed the People, man. Feed_DA_PPL on Instagram, on Facebook, on Triller. You can find me on all that, man, on TikTok. All of them. Feed the People, man. God said feed the people, so it's lunchtime.